Okay, so I might forget, maybe tomorrow we have class. Okay. Huh? It will be done by this time, no? Yes or no? Yes, no? 100%. When it will start? 2 o'clock, no? Come on, by 6 o'clock it will be done, no? Uh, hmm? I'll give the live updates. So how many of you cannot attend the class here? See, Babu, majority. So tomorrow let's have class. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. So let's move on. Same time. What is there? There is no difference in the time. 6 o'clock on. Okay. So today's topic is, we know this already, this topic, but we will be going a little bit deeper here. Okay. The topic here is, what is this? Auto scaling. What is it, Nana? Auto scaling. What is auto scaling? Scale out, scale in. What scale out, scale in what? EC2 instances. Scale out and scaling in EC2 instance, we call it as auto scaling. Whenever there is a demand, automatically it scale out. Whenever there is no demand, automatically it will scale in. So we know this already. Scale out and scale in EC2 instances based on the load. Scale out meaning adding or removing a? Adding. Scale in meaning removing. So whenever there is a demand on traffic, auto scaling group will scale out and scale in EC2 instances automatically. Do we know this already or not? Yes. So I'll give you a representation. That is load balancer. So this is ELB, and these are EC2. And we have application also inside that. Definitely we need to have a application. Application. Okay. Okay. Now, how many EC2 instances are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are there. As I don't have space, that's the reason I put only 5. So 5 are there. So whenever there is a huge demand, or whenever there is a huge traffic on the load balancer, what will happen? This 5 EC2 instances will be sufficient. This 5 EC2 instances will be sufficient. Definitely no. What should be happen now here? Scale out should happen. What should happen? Scale out should happen. So scale out happens, meaning here automatically EC2 instance will get launched. Yes or no? Automatically EC2 instance will be launched. And also here, very important thing, EC2 instance will be launched, and it has application also or not? Definitely need to have a application. I'll come to this point. Can you tell me? Okay, these are all come under auto scaling. Whenever scale out is happening, automatically EC2 instance will be launched and automatically application will be put inside. How? How does auto scaling will know how to put the application inside? What is the concept that we use here? Anyone? Online people answered. Image. Which one? Image. Remember image? AMI. What is an image? Copy of the operating system. Can we install? Can we have application also in the image? Yes, we'll keep the image ready and we'll tell auto scaling group, Babu auto scaling group, if you want to scale out, use that image and then scale out. And in that image, can I have my own application? Yes. So that's how automatically, very good online and of course offline also. So scale out will happen. So, and guys, here, is it good to keep all EC2 instance same capacity or different capacity? 100% it should be same capacity because it is the runtime. So that is why it is called elasticity, auto scaling, right? So is it scalability? Is it good to have scalability here? No. What is scalability? Scale up, scale down. So in the runtime, is it possible for you to increase 4 GB RAM to 8 GB RAM in the runtime? Not possible. For that reason, we will launch multiple EC2 instances. Scale out will be happening here. Very good. Scale out is happening. Scale out. And whenever there is no demand, right? What will happen? Scale in will happen. Scale in will happen. Okay. So now ELB does, how does the ELB do the monitoring for the application? Using what? Using what? Louder. Using what? Health checks. Using what? Health checks. What is the status code that you get? What is the status code that you get? 200. Very good. Very good. 200. So ELB does the health checks for the application. ELB does the health checks for the EC2 instance. ELB load balancer will do the health checks for the application or EC2 instance. We already learned this topic. Okay, I'm just giving an example. If you are monitoring, if the load balancer is monitoring the EC2 instance, sometimes EC2 instance will be up, but inside application will be down. Yes or no? But if you are monitoring EC2 instance, how do you know that application is up or down? So for that reason, load balancer should monitor the application or EC2 instance. Application. So load balancer should monitor the application. If the application is working, healthy. If it is not working, unhealthy. Yes or no? Good. So here, ELB does the health checks for the application. And who monitors the EC2 instance? Which service? Which is a service which monitor the EC2 instance? Monitor. Louder. CloudWatch monitors EC2 instance. Getting it? Okay, is it clear? Okay, so listen this carefully. Now you are there. You got a requirement now. You have got a requirement now to set up the application on the EC2 instance with auto scaling, right? You have a requirement now to set up the application with the auto scaling. So now you got to know that 20 people started accessing 20 people will be accessing your application. How many people? So for 20 people initially, how many EC2 instances that you need roughly? One is different. Okay, let's say if you have 100 people, 4, 100, 200 people, 4 is sufficient. So Whenever you are setting up, how many machines that you are setting up initially? How many? 4. You understand what I'm saying? First of all, if you want to start the setup, you need to have initial machines, no? You need to have initially how many machines that you want to have? 4. Why 4? Because you have those many customers are there. Those many customers are trying to access it. That's why you have decided 4. That is your wish. Yes or no? That is your desire. That is your desireness. Correct? So how many EC2 instances that you want to launch initially? Louder. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So can I call this as desire capacity? No, can I call it as desire capacity? DC. What is your desired capacity? 4. You understand what is desired capacity? Initially, how many EC2 instances that you wish to have is initially? That is called desired capacity. Desire capacity. How much number, how many EC2 instances that you desire to have? That is called desired capacity. So desired capacity depend upon initially how many people are accessing your application, correct? So startingly, how many we have? By default, how many we have? 4. Now, Nana, you put in your group, minimum how many EC2 instances should be there? Minimum. 2. Minimum how many? 2. Maximum is your wish, no? So for this here, should we put 6 as we don't have space? What is your minimum and maximum in your group? We call it as boundaries. What we call? Boundaries. In your group, scale out will happen, no? Tap, scale out will happen. How many? There should be some groups, there should be some boundary, no? That is maximum. Whenever scale out is happening, tap, how many maximum scale out will happen? 6. When there is no demand, automatically tap, scale in will happen. Minimum 2. Can it go minimum less than 2? Can it go maximum greater than 6? That minimum maximums are boundaries. Desired capacity meaning what? How many machines that you wish to launch initially. That is called desired capacity. Now, how many are there at the moment? 4. Now, demand came. Now, one more EC2 instance got increased. How many are there now? 5. Scale out has happened. How many are there? Scale out. Is it possible to have one more? Not possible. Because maximum 6 has been reached. Now, scaling is happening. Scaling is happened. How many are there? How many are there now? 5. Now? Possible? No. So that is called minimum. So in auto scaling, we have mainly 3 things. What are those? Minimum, maximum, desired capacity. What is that? Minimum, maximum are boundaries. Desired capacity meaning initially how many machines that you want, that is a desired capacity. Clear? Very good. So minimum, maximum, desired capacity. Yeah. So minimum, maximum, desired capacity. Minimum, what is minimum, Nana? So the minimum number of EC2 instances that auto scaling group should have. Example, how much is minimum? 2. Maximum, the maximum number of EC2 instances. Yeah. So maximum 18. Desired capacity will be considered initially. Okay. Nana, these 2 6 numbers are, is it mandatory to put 6? Your wish, no. You can put 60 also, no issues. Minimum to minimum, 2 should be there. Why 2? High availability, no. At least you need to have 2. Can you have minimum 10 also? Yeah. If you have huge capacity running all the time, keep minimum 10. No issues. It's purely depend upon your requirement. So desired capacity meaning the number of EC2 instances that you wish or desired to launch initially. Now, the desired capacity will be constant or it is variable. Initially, it was how many? 4. Later, it will get decreased, no? Based on your load, it will scale out and then it is scaling. So, desired capacity will not be constant. Is it clear now? So, minimum and maximum, these two, we call it as what? Boundaries. So, we have 3 types of scaling options. How many types? 3 types of scaling options. There are 3 types of scaling options, Anna. So, one is called manual scaling, schedule scaling, dynamic scaling. How many are there? 3. What are those? Say that. Manual scaling, schedule scaling, and then dynamic scaling. So, Nana, see here. Manual scaling meaning, let's say you have minimum 2, maximum 6, desire 4. So, now, how many EC2 instances running? 4. Because desired capacity is 4. So, now, what I need is, I want to launch one more EC2 instance. Can I go and modify, edit the desired capacity from 4 to 5? When I modify, what will happen? One more EC2 instance will get launched. You're manually modifying the desired capacity. You're manually modifying minimum maximum. If you're manually modifying minimum maximum and desired capacity, that is called manual scaling. That is called what? Manual scaling. Next one, we have schedule scaling. What is that? You call it as scheduler. Many people I heard, they call it schedule, right? I don't know which school, but and also one more word that I observed. I call it a situation. Situation, right? Some people will call what? Situation. Have you heard? Oh, I heard many times. Situation, they say, right? AWS. Okay. So schedule scaling is, let's say now, in Amazon, what is that sale is happening? Festival sale is happening. What is that? Big Billion Day is happening, no? So Big Billion Day. Now, let's say 1 month before, Amazon website will have this much traffic that what we are having now. No. So from October, Great India Festival. Yeah. Let's say yesterday. Since when, Nana? Since when was this festival? October 11th. Okay, October 11th, for example, or 8 to 16, for example. You gave October 8 to 16. So till October 7th, the traffic will be different. AWS will know that from October 8th to October 16, the traffic will go high. Assume Amazon has some 10 machines till October 7th to handle the load. But what he do is, he'll create a schedule scaling that, Babu, from October 8 to 16, my desired capacity is 40. That meaning exactly at October 8, how many machines will be launched? 40 machines will be launched. Till when? Till 16. So scale out and scaling will be happening within this, in this. So this is called schedule scaling. Within period of time or date, you can schedule it, and automatically based on your desired capacity, minimum maximum automatically get launched. And last one is dynamic. Dynamic meaning automatic. Based on the CPU usage or based on you take any metric. You can tell to auto scaling group, Babu, auto scaling group, maintain the average CPU utilization as 60% or 70% or 80%, your wish. So auto scaling group, what will do is it will maintain how many EC2 instances are there, doesn't matter. It will maintain, you told as a boss, we told Babu auto scaling group maintain 60%. Auto scaling group will maintain 60%. If it is going the CPU utilization more than 60%, scale out will happen. If it is less than 60%, scaling will happen. How many machines will scale out? We don't care. Automatically, AWS will, auto scaling group will take care, because you need to keep the average CPU utilization is 60% all the time. If there is any fluctuations, scale out, scale will happen automatically. Doesn't matter today, night, or tomorrow, early morning, or 10 days, or 1 year, doesn't matter. Dynamic scaling. What is this? Dynamic scaling. You understand the difference between manual? Manual scaling is manually modifying it. Schedule meaning at a particular date time. Dynamic meaning every time, that is automatically it will scale out and scaling. So which one is the best out of these three? Dynamic scaling is the best. That is a certification question, right? So they will give the scenario like this, and they will ask, so which is the best option that you can choose? Which one? Dynamic scaling. In dynamic scaling, do we need to worry about it? No. You just mention the average CPU duration, automatically auto scaling will take care of it. Okay. Do all this scaling depend upon DC values is initial values. Later that will get changed automatically. If you are manually modifying minimum, maximum desired capacity. So schedule scaling meaning based on the time period or a day. Dynamic scaling meaning based on the load. Load meaning, can I take CPU utilization? I can take CPU utilization. I can take network related metric. I can take request counts, right? Memories, etc. Now, what are all these called? Can I call it as metrics? Yes. Metrics, all concept you will see in which service? CloudWatch. So indirectly, who is helping here? CloudWatch is helping us. There is a question. What about costing of dynamics? You're asking me, Prashant. Whom you're asking, just put me. If you're asking me, put sir and come and do. What about costing of dynamic scaling? What is their cost? How much you pay for that? That's it. No. How many machines that you are launching? Those many hours you need to pay for it. Simple as that. Is it clear? Okay. Good. Okay. Now question for you. Auto scaling group will scale out, no? What is the meaning of scale out? Adding the EC2 instance or launching the new EC2 instance. How does auto scaling group will know what kind of, how many steps, okay, what kind of EC2 instance that you should launch? Yes or no? How many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? So 7 steps we are learning. I haven't put to all the 7 steps in one place. We are learning. So what we have here is we have something called launch template. What is that? What we need to do is first we will create a launch template. What we create? Launch template. What does the launch template? What does the launch template contain? That 7 steps. What does it contain? If you want to launch an EC2 instance, how many steps are there? 7 steps. So you select that this is 7 and then click on launch. Instead of launching, can you create that 7 step as a template and tell auto scaling, Arey Babu, auto scaling group, whenever you're scaling out, use that launch template. So auto scaling group will take that launch template. In that launch template, what you have mentioned, you might have mentioned AMI, you might have mentioned instance type T2 micro, you might have mentioned security group, you might have mentioned the key pair, you have mentioned so many things. No, all these things will be as a configuration, as a launch template. So auto scaling group will automatically take that launch template and launch the EC2 instance. And how does auto scaling group will keep the application? In the launch template, we have AMI, no? In that AMI, you have your application. In that AMI, you have your application. So you need to keep your custom AMI ready with your application. And then when you're launching, use that launch template. So you can call it as launch template also, or you can call it as launch configuration also. Anything is fine. But I would suggest to use launch template, not configuration. You understand what is launch template? I think Nana, that 7 step, you're keeping it as a template. That is called launch template. Launch template, or you can call it as launch configuration. Tell me, what are the things that we need to keep? We need to use AMI, no? In that AMI, can I put my application? Can you put your Bava application if required? Yes or no? Example. So, and what else you can put? AMI. You tell, you put volumes, instance type, key, security group, tags, etc. All this information, you put it in launch template. So using this auto scaling group will launch the EC2 instances. One silly question: how ELB knows there are new EC2s after scaler? Just wait. We have the topic coming in, Yatin. So auto scaling group is the combination. You need to have ELB plus you need to have EC2 instances plus you need to have launch templates. And if at all you want to get notifications that scale out is happened, scaling has happened, one machine is launched, one machine is terminated. If you want to get a notification, which is a service that you can use? Yes, SMS. So you just need to tell to auto scaling group saying that, Are Babu, keep my average CPU utilization as 60% or 70, 80, depend on requirement. And automatically it will take care. Auto scaling group is a service or it require ELB or it require 100% it require ELB, EC2, all these things. Auto scaling group is a feature in EC2 service. It's not a separate service. Guys, is this clear on auto scaling group, everyone? Shiva, is that clear? Whenever you ask any questions, please put CC, Shiva, or someone who asked. Yeah, so that I'll understand that you know you got the answer. Clear, Nana? Everyone here? Auto scaling group clear? Yes. So let's move to next important topic. Very important topic. Any questions on previous auto scaling? All clear, no? Okay. So now let's talk about important topic, which is called elastic load balancer. So we have been talking about the elastic load balancer since many days. Since starting, we learned about ELB. So today, let us go a little bit deeper onto the load balancer. And first of all, you tell me what is load balancer? What is the definition of it? One more time, slowly. Tell me. What is ELB? I want to write. Tell me. I heard something, but I'm writing. So ELB, which distribute the traffic to multiple EC2 instances across availability zones. Very good. Okay. So I would suggest to use the same thing here, same definition. Whenever someone asks what is load balancer, if you say this, you don't have any other questions, right? Don't say that something else. So it's very simple, no? ELB, which distribute the traffic to multiple EC2 instances across availability zones. Simple as that. Okay. And also ELB is completely managed by, yes or no? Remember we discussed in starting days. ELB is completely managed by AWS, is completely managed by AWS. ELB is a service, ELB is a server. ELB is a service, ELB is a server. Service. ELB is a service by AWS, not server. Is it possible for us to log into the ELB or access the ELB? Using DNS name. Using DNS name. ELB can be accessed by URL. URL meaning DNS name. Can you log into ELB? You cannot log into ELB. Okay. So this is ELB. ELB is distributing the traffic to this. These are EC2. EC2, EC2. And guys, inside this, we need to have the same application or different application? Same application. Because redundancy. Remember redundancy? RMF. So this EC2 instance, I'll put it in 1A. And this EC2 instance, I'll put it in 1B. And this is in 1C. If required, can I have auto scaling on top of it? Yes, I can have it. And how are you doing monitoring from the load balancer to your application? Using health checks. What is the status code that you get? 200. So if he's not getting 200, it is healthy or unhealthy? Unhealthy. So you have a concept called healthy or unhealthy. So if health checks pass, healthy. If health checks fail, unhealthy. Simple as that. Okay, so here, whenever you create a load balancer, I told you, it will give a DNS name, correct? That is nice URL or nasty URL? Nasty URL. How does the URL look like? Like this, http:// dot some random number dot ap minus south minus 1 dot elb dot amazonaws.com. Is it recommended to give this URL to customer? No. What will you do for this? How do you do the makeup for this? Route 53. Go to Route 53 and do the makeup. That we will do later. So can I put like makeup to boom.com like this? Simple? Yes. So whenever someone hit boom.com, it will automatically go to this load balancer. Okay. Okay, so few days, I mean, 1 year or 1 year, maybe, I don't remember how many months back, I faced one issue in my real time. Should I tell you that? Anyways, I'm giving more real-time examples. So this is also one of the best real-time example that I have faced. I'll give you those information. So now, I worked in multiple companies till now, right? So one of the company that I worked was a company called Napa. I told you this. What is that? Napa, right? So Napa is a shipping company, right? So where we deal with so many ships. So assume these are the ships. Nice ships, no? Super. Huh? So generally ship is generally when we draw the diagram, we draw like that, like this. Okay. So these are the ships. Have you been into the ships? Have you traveled? Right? No. Okay, no problem. So if you travel, so you're also expert in paint. Okay. So I have got an opportunity to travel into the ship many times because my company, what the company we developed was, did I told you this? What our company will do? Did I told you this or not? Okay. So so what our company do is, for example, if you take a car, if you want to monitor a car, what are the things that you can monitor for the car? Tell me. Mileage, tire air pressure, how engine is performing, speed, uh, uh, petrol, paint, pickup. So neat and clean, how the gears are shifting, right? So all these things we can monitor it, right? So if we list down, we can list down so many things. Just imagine for a ship, how much we can monitor. So the ships that I traveled was, there are so many ships like, passenger ships, right? So you might have saw passenger ship, Titanic. Huh? Uh, so I had an opportunity where we went. I went for with our commission engineers. I went to the engine room, near to engine room. You know how that engine room will be? It will be too much noisy. I think in Titanic also they saw the engine room. I'm not asking what is happening in engine room. What back end? So in the back end, engine rooms was there, right? So definitely you might have not seen engine room, 100%. Okay, so it's too much of sound. They will give the earbuds. So you need to use the earbuds and go. So what we do is what our company do is we develop few softwares. So how we have here GPRS on the land. If you want to go from one place to another place, we'll use the GPRS on the land and then we do. On the ship, we call it as voyage. What we call? Voyage. If you have traveled by ship, you know this. They call it as voyage. So going from one place to another place, we call it as voyage. But how does the captain know the route from one place to another place in the ocean? Correct or not? So for that reason, what we do, our software will give voyage planning, voyage optimization, voyage routing, right? Everything we develop as a company. And also we develop so many safety softwares. And what they do is if something happened to the ship, if let's say if the ship is sinking, so automatically the compartments, our sensors will identify the waters and then automatically shut down the compartments. So minimum risks will be there. So we develop all kind of softwares. And inside this company, they were handling it. All the data there, we get it into our servers. So I'm the person here in this company. I'm the only one person in the company who architected to get all the data from different ship through sensors to satellite, and through satellite the data will be transferred to the AWS cloud. So this entire architecture has been designed by me in this company, right? So it is really superb technical things, right? Lots of huge of data. We use some IoT applications with sensors and get the data, connect to satellite, and from that satellite we retrieve the data. We have the developers, they will analyze the data and they will calculate and will give a nice view for the captain how the ship is performing. And we can say how the voice optimization planning can be done. So a lot of things. So the mastermind of cloud behind this is me for this company. So like this, I have designed for many US-based military projects also. I cannot say that outside, it's confidential. So there are so many things like this. So now, what I meant to say is every ship will also have a network inside it, 100%. Ship will also have a network inside it. They have laptops, computers, right? So from one room to another room, how they communicate? Through the internet, through the laptop, through the network only. So how our company have a in network? Similarly, every ship will have its own network. Every ship will have its own network. And what these captains will do is the application that is designed by us, guys, application mean definitely it will be on my load balancer or not. I have the EC2 instance. I'm just putting it roughly here. And then this is my application, load balancer. So this is my ELV. This is my EC2 with my application. So assume my application name is boom.com. So what these captains will do is they will open boom.com and they will start using our application. So everyone will be connected to this load balancer or not? Boom.com meaning. Yes or no? Yes. So all the ships started connecting to my application. Everyone, they said that it's working fantastically. And we have so many customers. Can you tell me which, you said someone traveled by ship. No, what is the company that you have traveled? I'll tell those are our customers or not. Have you heard about Viking Line? Disney? Disney also haven't heard? Disney ships. We just go to, today to go to internet and just type Disney ships. Right? And you have Carnival, Seaburn, right? We have different customers like this, right? So anyways, so everyone said, everyone for all the ships, it's working, our application is working. But one of the customers said, Babu, I have one issue. Listen this carefully. This ship network admin said, hey Riaz, I know your application name is boom.com. I don't want boom.com. Can you give me the IP address of your website so that I can put it in my firewall? Every ship has its own firewall. Yes or no? So what the customer want is, he want the IP address of my website. He want the IP address of my website. You tell me, boom.com is nothing but indirectly they're accessing my load balancer or not? Does the load balancer has IP address? Load balancer is a service, it's a server. It's a service from AWS. It's not a server. So what I said was to customer, hey customer, we are using AWS technology and there is a concept called load balancer. It's a service, not a server. I replied. He said, who cares what is AWS, what is load balancer? Just God's sake, give me the IP address, he said. Is it possible for me to explain technically for him? What he said is, Babu, give me IP address enough. It's very simple question, right? I was telling, Arey, not possible. Because your application is behind the load balancer. How can you tell me, can I expose my application servers to internet? No. The only thing where I can expose is load balancer. For that load balancer, that too, this is a service, not a server. How can you give the IP address? I started explaining, but no one is listening. Because bloody, I'm the only one person in the company to set up everything. So my manager asked, I also said the same thing to my manager. He said, please do something. I started convincing to the customer and he said that, finally, he said, if you are able to give the IP address, give us. Otherwise, let's cancel the deal, he said. Because of bloody one IP address, do we need to cancel crores of business? For one ship, you know how much we charge? I cannot say, right? We charge a lot. And everyone started falling on me. Riaz, give me IP address, Ray. Why you are fighting with customer? Why I should fight with the customer? There is no technology logic like this. How can I give the IP address? I said, right? And finally I said, I don't know. We cannot leave the customer like this. Please give the IP address. So I started thinking. Thinking meaning sitting and thinking, no habits, right? So I cannot do anything. So I'm just thinking. So Devanand asking, can we give access to EC2? Is it good to give access to EC2? Our EC2 inside, and I told you this in our EC2 will be in public network or private network. Load balancer should be public or private? Public, right? So I cannot give. So now, when I was thinking, I got a small command called, I told you this in our starting days. What is the command to find out the IP address of the website? NS lookup. Remember? NS lookup. What is that? So what I did was I went and typed NS lookup. No, boom.com is just a name. Boom.com is nothing but my load balancer only, no? Boom.com is just a makeup. The person is load balancer. So if you hitting the makeup or if you are accessing the load balancer, both are same or not? Yes. So now, when I do NS lookup for my load balancer, I got the IP address. I got the IP address. I was like, hooray, I got the IP address. So I sent this IP address to the customer, and customer has put that IP address in the firewall, and he sent a very big mail saying that, congratulations, you are super genius, blah, 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 blah. And he extremely did. And then the application started working. Everyone congratulated me. Everyone appreciated me. That's fine. Next day, I got an email from the same customer saying that your website is not working again. Again, website is not working. When I did NS lookup, the IP was there yesterday. Now it is not there. It is changed. IP address is changed. Are? Then I said, oh, I'm so sorry. IP address got changed. Please take this IP address. And it started working. Next day again stopped working. When I checked, IP address is again changed. Whose IP address? Load balancer IP address. So this load balancer is handled by whom? Me or AWS? So AWS is changing the IP addresses in the backend for the load balancer. Do I have a control on it? Is it possible for me to give every day one single IP to the customer? Customer got frustrated. Why you are doing like this to me? Give me IP address which is not changed. So now you are listening. I was in that situation at the time. Just imagine that too in Europe, not in India. I was in Europe, right? So in Finland, that too. So finally, what I did was I had a conference call with AWS directly. So then I said, hey, AWS, this is the problem. I cannot leave the customer and you should do something here. And what they said is, they said like this. Hey, Riaz, you know that we have a load balancer. Load balancer. Yes or no? ELB. Yes or no, guys? This ELB is completely managed by whom? ELB is a server or service? Service. Do I need to worry about the performance of load balancer? Do I need to worry about anything about the load balancer? It is a service, no? It is a service for us. But in the back end, it is server or not? Definitely it will be a server in the back. For us, it is a service. In the back end, it will be a server. So now, what they said was, hey, Riaz, you know ELB is completely managed by AWS. That meaning in the back end, we have EC2 instances for this. And I told you that the performance is completely managed by AWS. That meaning there are few EC2 instances for the load balancer in the back end. Based on your load, automatically scale out will happen. Automatically scale will happen. EC2 instances, all these EC2 instances, scale out and scaling will be happening automatically. So there will be any fixed IP? There is no fixed. That is the reason why IP is changing every day. IP is changing every day because in the back end, scale out and scalings are happening. So for that reason, I said, Babu, do one thing. Don't do scale out and scaling for 100 machines for my load balancer. Restrict it only for 10 machines. Do scale out and scaling only within the 10 machines. So give me the 10 IP addresses for me. So AWS said that, hey, I'll give the 10 IP addresses, but don't ask me the performance issue for the load balancer. Because the scale, I'm compromising the performance of the load balancer because scaling out will be happening within the 10 machines only. If I get huge traffic on the load balancer, problem. 10 machines will not be sufficient. So for that reason, what I did was I got a 10 static IPs. I gave this 10 static IPs to the customer and it started working. So these are hangama. We need to do so many things as an architects, correct? So anyways, later we got this kind of problems. Later we have a solution for this. We'll talk on this later. Okay. So now you understand load balancer has the IP address. Yes. Those IP addresses are static or dynamic? Dynamic. The IP address are dynamic. Is it recommended to use load balancer DNS name or IP address? DNS name. So you can ask, sir, this firewall, can't you put the DNS name? There are few old firewalls where they cannot accept DNS name. They can accept only IP address. Nowadays, all the new firewalls, they can accept domain name like boom.com. No problem. You're getting these points, the real-time scenarios, right? So now I'll just go here and type ELB has the IP address, but those are dynamic or static? ELB has the IP address, but these IPs are dynamic. AWS always recommend to use the ELB DNS name, not IP address. That's a problem. Is this clear till here, everyone? That is just a story that I faced the issue. That's the reason I told you this. Okay. One question: since ELB is a service, do each customer has separate ELB? Of course, yes. Yes. Okay, Nana. Now, very importantly, there are different types of load balancer. What? Types of elastic load balancers. There are different types of elastic load balancers. And initially, in starting days, AWS has only one load balancer, which is called classic load balancer. Which one? Say that. In shortcut, you call it as CLB. What is that? So this CLB guy is working on obviously HTTP, HTTPS, and TCP, these protocols. What is the first load balancer that created by AWS? Classic load balancer. On which protocol it is working? HTTP, HTTPS, and TCP. So due to so many problems and so many issues, AWS came up with the new load balancers. And as it came new, and this has become previous generation. Which one? It's a previous generation load balancer. As it is previous generation load balancer, is it good to use? No. So now we have the latest load balancer, which is called application load balancer. Which one, Anna? Application load balancer is one load balancer, and another one we call it as network load balancer. Which one? And finally, we have latest load balancer, which is called gateway load balancer. In shortcut, call it as ALB, NLB, CLB, and last one, GLB. Come on, see here, guys. How many types of load balancer there's mainly? 4. What are those? Application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancer, gateway load balancer. Again, one more time. Here, see me. First one, application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancer, gateway load balancer. In shortcut, ALB, NLB, CLB, GLB. So we have the different types of load balancer. So now which one is the latest load balancer? Application load balancer. These are all latest generation. All these are all latest generation. Network load balancer also latest. Gateway load balancer also latest generation. Okay, now, if you want to create a load balancer, which is the most commonly default to choose load balancer out of this? Guess. Which one? Application load balancer. Which one? Because we are deploying applications only, no? So for which is a default choose? Which is a default choose? 90% of the everyone in the AWS. So which is the load balancer they create? Application load balancer. So that is the default choose. So default choose is ALB. And this works on HTTP and HTTPS. On which protocol it works? HTTP and HTTPS. Nana, nowadays you heard about microservices, no? Docker, Kubernetes, all these things. For them also, they need load balancer. If they are using AWS, what is the load balancer is best for microservices? Application load balancer. So it is best for microservices. So coming to network load balancer. So this network load balancer works on TCP and UDP. Which one, Anna? TCP and when to use network load balancer? If you want to have extreme high performance on network level. This one is application level. This one is network level. If you want to have extreme high performance, which load balancer you should choose? Network load balancer. So I'll write extreme high performance. Extreme high performance. And it will work on network level. And very good important certification question here is, it will provide a static IP, Nana. How many static IPs it will provide? One static IP per availability zone. How many availability zones are there in Mumbai? 3. So how many static IPs it will provide? 3. 3. 1 per availability zone. So this is the question. Which is a load balancer in the AWS provides static IPs? Network load balancer. How many static IPs? 1 per availability zone. Static or dynamica? Static. You understand mainly the 3 differences? So which is the load balancer that we should be using it? Which is the load balancer that we should be using it? Application load balancer, ALB. And gateway load balancer, we no need to worry and we no need to use. So this one is for security purpose. If you want to deploy, manage, and scale a fleet of third-party network virtual appliance in AWS, then go for gateway load balancer. Like if you want to install firewalls, if you want to even set up any prevention systems, etc., then go for gateway load balancer. And it uses a protocol called Geneve. What is it? Geneve protocol on 6081. Guys, on gateway load balancer support what protocol? Geneve. Say that. Geneve protocol. What port number? 6081. Which one? Now see here. I'll inject in your brains now. See here. I know your faces. See. There are mainly how many types of load balancers are there? 4 types. See me. What are those? Application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancer, gateway load balancer. Which one is previous generation? Classic. Classic works on which protocol? HTTP, HTTPS, and TCP. Are we using classic load balancer? No. Slowly by August or by next year, it will get deprecated. Okay. And then which is the most commonly load balancer that we should be using? Application. Application load balancer works on which protocol? HTTP and HTTPS. And network load balancer works on which protocol? TCP and UCP. What is the use of network? When do you use network load balancer? For extreme high performance. So which is the load balancer supports static IPs? Network load balancer. How many? 1 static IP per available zone. And gateway load balancer is for security appliance or not? Yes. So which is the protocol that you use? Geneve. What is the port number? Okay, no? Okay, good. So as Now we have something called routing features. As we are using application load balancer, let us go a little bit deeper there in application load balancer. So we have something called routing features. Not required, Yasin. So what do we have here? Routing features. What do we have? Say that. Routing features. So we have something called host-based routing, path-based routing, string parameter routing, etc. I'm listing only few. So mainly, what are the routings we have, Nana? Say that. What are the routing features we have? Host-based routing, path-based routing, string parameters routing. So string parameter meaning this will be used by the developers. Developers, back me up. In URL, sometimes you will search for question mark and string something like that. No? Any developers here? If not, so it will be like this. In your URL, it will be like question mark course is equal to AWS, right? Like this. So if you want to use this kind of method, you can go for the string parameter. But let me talk about what is host-based routing, path-based routing, string. Let's talk about it. Is this clear till here, everyone? Okay. So now I'll tell you the problem and I'll tell you the solution for this. Anna, see, this is a load balancer. Tell me one name, very short name. I need short name. Huh? Venki. Okay. So we have http://venki.com. What is that? Venki.com. So whenever you hit venki.com, where does it go first? It go to the load balancer. It goes to the load balancer, ELB. And we have EC2 instance, no? This EC2 instance should have a venki.com website or not? Guys. So this should have what? Venki.com application should be there here. Hello. Guys, see here. So we have a load balancer where we have venki.com. So venki.com application should be there or not? Now, assume google.com. Do we have maps.google.com also? Images.google.com? Photos.google.com? What are all these called? Subdomains. What are all these called? Let's say, for example, I have a requirement like this. I need web.venki.com. Web.venki.com. Now tell me, I have this website called web.venki.com. Is it possible for me to send the traffic to the same load balancer? Yes or no? Web.venki.com is different website. But in my load balancer, what is the website I have? Venki.com. Is it possible for me to send to this load balancer? Yes or no? No. See, I have a load balancer. Google.com is there. EC2 instances with Google.com. For the same load balancer, can I send images.google.com? That's a different website, no? So venki.com is different website. Web.venki.com is also a different website. So, or else, now tell me, is it possible for me to put like this? Web.venki.com. Tell me, is this possible to put like this? Huh? Yes or no? Answer is, where is redundancy? Where is redundancy? Yes or no, guys? Is it possible for me to put like this? So if I need to have web.venki.com, if I need to have web.venki.com, my existing load balancer will work for this? No. What I need to do? I need to create one more load balancer for web.venki.com, as this is a different website. Yes or no? So I need to go and create one more like this. And I have web.venki.com here. Okay. So the problem here is, do we have only one subdomain or we'll have multiple subdomains? Multiple. So I have web.venki.com. Can I have one more website like admin.venki.com? I have hello.venki.com, a.venki.com, b.venki.com, c. I will have multiple hundreds of websites. For each and every website, is it possible for us to create separate load balancer? Yes or no? No. Nana, that is the problem with CLB. That is the problem with CLB, classic load balancer. So for each and every website, you need to create a multiple load balancers. So multiple ELBs with CLB. Is that good? Is that good? For that reason, CLB has become a previous generation load balancer. So now, which is the latest load balancer that we are using? So let's see how this will be handled in application load balancer now. Yes, do you see? So now we have this application load balancer. Big one. ALB. Okay. Now, what is the first website here? Venki.com. If someone is hitting Venki.com, the request will go to where? And now we should have what? EC2 instances, no? Venki.com EC2 instance should be there. Yes or no? Here we have Venki.com. So see here, very important. So load balancer is sending like this to the. So the main thing with the application load balancer is, here we create something called target group. What is that? Very, very important. What do we create, Nana, here? Target group. So we can create a target group. So what is the group name? Let's say, for example, Venki group, Venki TG group, TG group. What's the target group? Venki TG. So I create a separate target group. And now you tell me, someone is coming with one more application. What is that? Web.venki.com. And now what should I do? I have EC2 instance here. Yes or no? And in this EC2 instance, which application should be there? Web.venki.com. Fantastic. Web.venki.com. Web.venki. Nana, can I create a separate target group for this? Guys, can I create separate target group? Yes, this is another target group. Nana, what does the target group contains? EC2 instances. Targets is nothing but EC2 instances inside. So this is, let's say, web target group. Yes or no? So now, so here like this. Now problem here is, how does the load balancer know to whom it need to send to which target group? So what we do is, here we create something called rules. What do we create? Nana, we will tell to the load balancer, anyone who is coming with venki.com, load balancer automatically will identify and redirect to Venki target group. Right? Host-based routing. What is this called? Venki.com. This is called host-based routing. Now, let's say web.venki.com. The same request will come here. And here I create a rule in load balancer saying that, hey, if someone is coming with web.venki.com, which will be redirected here to this here, redirected to web TG. Getting it? Right? So here we create something called rules in the load balancer. Based on the route, it will just redirect to the particular target group. Okay, there might be few websites like this also. Developers, tell me, venki.com/admin. Path. Yes or no? Developers, tell me, So we'll have a website also like this with the path. So if you have a path like this, so what is the path? What is the thing but here create here? Path-based routing. What based routing? So if someone is coming with /admin, you can create a rule. You can send it to another target group. What do we have in the target group? Admin website. So here we have /admin. Can this be in another separate group, guys? Target group? This is another target group. What target group is this? Can I call it as admin TG? Yes. So like this, one load balancer with one load balancer, you can do multiple things like this now. We need to create the rules. Yes, you can do that also. Zafar. Is it clear? With one load balancer, with different target groups, you can have different websites like this. That is the powerful application load balancer. Okay, now you tell me there is no limit for load balancer. So you tell me load balancers should listen on which protocol? Load balancer should listen on which protocol? HTTP and very good. HTTP or HTTPS. Very good. HTTPS meaning certificates only, no? HTTPS meaning certificate. Generally, from where do you purchase the certificates? GoDaddy, no? GoDaddy or some other company. There are so many things are there, right? So, but here you know to go outside and purchase certificates. There is a service called ACM. What is that? ACM, Amazon Certificate Manager. What is that? Louder. Amazon Certificate Manager. So using ACM, we can create certificates there and then we can use it. No need to go outside. Clear? Huh? Is it clear with the load balancers? Different types of load balancers, how it works? Right? Any questions? If not, correct, Suresh. Take the screenshot. Done? Okay. And the second one? Okay. You're taking photos, taking selfies. This Picasso you need? And the last one. Now you understand the concept of load balancers, right? With one load balancer, we can create a rules like this and redirect to target groups. Remember the word called target group. It is very important. Devanand, I think you should change that method. Don't use that many question marks, okay? Recommend to use only one load balancer, depend upon your requirement. Okay, good. Target groups is not only for target groups is not only for application load balancer. Target groups are also for your network load balancer also. It will also work. It's very common. Okay, great. So 2 minutes extra. Can you give the final CC for today, please? CC with smile, please. So great. So that is all, guys, for today. And we have class tomorrow. Okay. We have class tomorrow. We'll continue the topics of this EC2. Okay. So see you tomorrow, guys, with the next topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Good night. Bye-bye.